Okay, what is up, everybody? This is Rance, aka Darth Lugia, and welcome to finally the Lies of P DLC trailer. Dude, I am so freaking pumped. I am so incredibly, remarkably, over the moon excited for this. This game is quite possibly my favorite game of all time. It immediately jumped to my top 10 as soon as I played it. And then after playing it, I'm like, nah, it might just be the best game I've ever played for my personal like tastes and stuff. I absolutely adore it. And I cannot wait to play more of it and replay it because you know I'm going to replay it for the fifth time, I think. Probably for the fifth time in order to prepare for the DLC. However, I only have watched it once and I have not done any more deep dives or looks ups online. I read the newsletter from the developer, but that is it. That is literally it. So besides that, this is going to be a pure raw reaction. And I already have a couple of things I remember that I'm looking forward to diving into and coming up with some ideas about. But I've done very, very, very little actually analysis of the trailer. So let's quit messing around. Let's freaking watch this thing, okay? Lies of P Overture, which is also a great name, but we'll talk about that. We got a lot of time to dive in. So here we go. Just gonna watch it first, and then we'll do our like pause and rewatch and stuff like that after.
How
The music,
can it be winter all of a sudden?
I'm sorry. You want to know the year?
What a pleasure to meet a stalker worthy of the name. It's been far, far too long.
Oh, my forever friend. Help me to hold your hand and dance.
Dude, the fur looks so good.
You're not the puppet I was expecting. Who are you?
She was looking for someone. Legendary. She stepped up only because no one else could. Too many stalkers will lust to that evil.
Dude, Alidoro? Dang. Get him over there. What is this? A sword that has a
Your
gun attached to
survival
the end
is
of it?
all that matters. Nothing else comes close, not even my life. I swear I won't be late. Not again.
Summer. Here we go. One more time. That's a lie. It's not one more time. So, I'm curious if this is going to happen post-game, right? That very first thing that we see is he's holding something and the butterfly flies out of it, right? Almost like it's post-game and he's like shocked. You're shocked to see that some part of Sophia still exists. Because if you play the game, you know, spoilers, but it's been out for like 1.5 years at this point, 2023, that Sophia's gone in one way or the other, right? And so like that's potentially showcasing that this is a post-game DLC. We'll have to see though. And then the foxes, excuse me, running around.
I'm sorry. You want to know
The
the
like,
year?
whatever it's Robinson Crusoe
What a
hat you
pleasure
got
to meet
on.
a stalker worthy of the name. It's been far, far too long.
Oh, my forever friend.
Ah.
Help me to hold your hand.
And if it wasn't obvious that we're going back in time, you're petting like a kitten, right? As opposed to like
You're
a
not the puppet I was expecting.
wow. We're gonna pause on that frame. Don't you worry.
She was looking for someone.
They're showing us all kinds of enemies except for
Legendary.
puppets.
She stepped up only because no one else could. Too many stalkers.
Look at that
will lust
weapon
to
I
that
have. Dude, every new weapon we've seen is brand new. Oh my gosh. He's got a new arm on. He's got a new Legion arm.
I'll do whatever it takes. Your survival is all that matters. Nothing else comes close, not even
We get a
my
bunch of
life.
cutscenes too.
I swear I won't be late.
Oh, for like
Not
roses.
again.
How much you want to bet that's like the ability we get from like the legendary stalker, huh? They kept talking about her like in the story. I feel like that's the ability that she'll like unlock for us. Okay, so Basically, it looks freaking amazing. And more importantly, we're going to be going into some individual things that stand out that we notice. I usually don't want to like break down stuff like this because I don't want spoilers. I don't care though, because I am too excited. So I'm going to break down like every single thing that I can find. So the very first like shot, right, is this like blue, like metal thing that we feel like I feel like we get from Sophia in some way. It might be like a shard or fraction of her in a way. And so, yeah, that makes me think that if not end game, it's got to be very, very late game. Every single other Souls game that you've probably played, this game actually has a post game. Like you don't just win and then it pushes you into a new game plus without any choices, right? That's one of my biggest issues with like Bloodborne and Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 even. You win and then you don't get to see what happens to the world outside of a short cutscene. In this game, you win, and then luckily to Lassie telling me that I can do this, you win and you get to go back to the hotel. You get to talk to everyone. You get new items. You get like new story things. You get information from everybody, right? And so you get the chance to like see what it is that's happening in the world afterwards, which I think is vital. I think that's so important for a game like this, where you get so much emotion attached into it that you get to upgrade, amplify, move forward, even after you've beaten the final boss or given your heart away, right? If you choose that option at the end. One interesting thing is that they've set themselves up to where this can be post, and you're wearing kind of the basic look right now, right? In this shot right here. And so, yeah, this is your like entrance into the DLC, because every time we've seen him fighting in the DLC, he's been wearing either the fur coat or the big like raccoon hat. Okay. Oh, the music. Immediately, the music sounds so good. Okay. Now, they put out a newsletter, and that newsletter made it very clear, very obvious that you are in fact traveling back in time. In the game, you wake up in the middle of essentially the puppet apocalypse, right? Where puppets have supposedly broken free from control and are now killing everything, killing everyone, every person, right? So that's what happens. That's the beginning of the game. You're stuck in that apocalypse. And you get books and you get letters and you get news that tells you about what happened and what led to the Great Puppet Uprising. I forgot the exact words, but it's close to that. And it sounds like a very cool, very interesting, very beautiful landscape, but you don't get to see any of that because it's already bloodied up. It's already kind of decrepit. Like you're there to save the survivors. You're not there to save all of society. There's very few survivors left that you're there to kind of make an impact on. So here already, this is recognizable as like a place that you see in the game, except it looks way different. You have the blimps and balloons up. You have the like zoo like figurines on top of that overpass, right? So there's a chance of us having a lot more human NPCs, a lot more interactions with like people outside of just the handful of small people that we ran into. So it could be much more lively thing, except it's winter. They could use that as an excuse. Everyone's inside instead of outside. That could be an interesting excuse. All right, here we go.
It'd be winter all of a sudden.
This is the same thing that you ride in the game. You ride this from the whatchamacallit, from the assembly. What's it called? There's the Venini arcade, and this is the Great Hall Assembly. Crap, I forgot the name of it. You ride this essentially to one of the final areas in the game. And so cool. You're riding the same, like, you're revisiting some places, but they look completely different, and it's in a different time period. So you're going to have different, like, enemies and stuff you interact with.
I'm sorry. You want to know the year?
Who's speaking?
What a pleasure to meet a stalker worthy of the name.
Actually, no. Hold up here.
I'm sorry. You want to know the...
Yeah, carnival or festival here is actually working. You see some things that are still like either being built or might already be like decrepit, but look, like stuff's actually moving and working here. That's really cool.
Yeah. What a pleasure to meet us.
The Monstro submarine. Dude. That would be cool if we actually get to like explore it on top of it or inside of it even. That would be sweet. See the person who like created it. We always kind of assumed it was just either Geppetto or it was Simon, just because they're the wealthy people, you know. I don't think it was Vanini. It feels like a Vanini thing actually because of how like bodacious it is. But anyway, it was being used by Geppetto and Simon.
Stalker worthy of the name. It's been far.
Oh, look at this. Okay. This is a ton of information here. So one, it's called the Hall of Adventure up top, right? And it's bloodied and scratched up and torn apart, looking not from like time, but looking as if it's from a fight that happened here. So you see blood all over the mammoth with a very obvious one that something is like on top of his tusk. Assuming it got put there, that this mammoth is still stuffed and isn't an actual boss fight, though that would be sick. But something got stuffed onto his tusk. You also see a stalker, we assume, because, yeah, they look human. You see 1, 2, 3 of them, besides the one on the tusk, that are like hanging, that have been strung up, like the puppets were strung up in First Lies of P. So that's really good. I don't remember this part at Night at the Museum. Did you ever see Night at the Museum 6? No? Well, you're missing out. That's on you, Ryu. It's a wonderful franchise. You need to continue watching all of it. So this is really cool. And so, yeah, there is some type of enemy that's killing humans, killing stalkers.
Far too long.
Oh, Spring was the name of the cat, I think. It was like Spring or Gear. It was something like that, yeah. It looks like he's a little kitten. He's a little baby. How cute. Oh, look at my arm. Look at his arm, dude. It's white with like layers, almost like cuffs, and a giant ass double barrel gun on top. Dude. That looks so sick. Oh, that looks awesome. As a matter of fact, let me go back here real quick and just to see if we can see any other types of weapons or Legion arms. So that there looks like that might be the puppet string. That could be the arm we just saw with the double barrel gun, or that could be the puppet string because it has the big like hook thing on top.
Can it be winter all of a sudden?
Here he sticks his head out. Yeah, it looks like it's the gun arm as well.
What a pleasure to meet a stalker worthy of the
Can't really
name.
see on that
It's
one.
been far.
That's the gun arm that we just talked about, but this time from the back. Damn. Oh my gosh, that looks sick. Okay.
Far too long.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, we knew there was going to be new weapons. We knew there was going to be new Legion arms, but I'm glad that they're making it obvious from the trailer. And I want more like projectile stuff, and so hell yeah. I wonder if the Legion arm editions will be all new or will also get further upgrades to current ones. That's a great thought. Yeah, like a level 5 or something for each of them, because some of them felt kind of undervalued. Like the flame one should have had a much better last phase. I feel like even the one where you set the mines in the ground was pretty like weak. Once you got the Shield of Aegis, I didn't want to try anything else because the shield was just so much better. Or the puppet string for the big attack. Okay, so we've seen one new arm, right? So we'll count that one new arm.
Help me to hold your hand and dance.
He's wearing the same one here and same one here. Okay.
You're not the puppet
Now
I was
this,
expecting. Who are you?
yeah, we're pausing you. Okay. So she's using the same like puppet string technology that Geppetto was using in the last fight against him, right? Where she's got ergo like coming out of her fingers. and she's controlling some type of like angel of death puppet looking thing. That thing looks so sick. I hope, and I think that this will happen, I hope that we get to fight both her and the puppet, right? And that it might be like a we fight them at the same time, you know, but they kind of take turns, right? Because there's no way that she's just going to be like a puppet wielder that's kind of helpless or defenseless. Like look at the like outfit they gave her and like the stance. Like she's got to be powerful and like cool on her own, you know. I just want to look back at this animation though. This animation was gorgeous.
Help me to hold your hand and dance.
And I want to hear what she says.
You're not the puppet I was expecting. Who are you?
Jeesh. Great voice too. Great voice.
You're not the puppet I was expecting. Who are you?
Well, and that's, yeah, all of our boss fights were primarily puppets with what? Simon as a human exception, Victor as a humanoid. I mean, he got kind of turned into like a monstrosity. Same with Simon, I guess. And then frickin' the priest, Archbishop Andreas. Like, it starts off with mostly puppets, then it goes into the like undead things, and then we get some stalker fights here and there. Then I guess Laxasia. So we had a decent amount of like spread. But right now, this is the only puppet we've seen in this trailer, and it's a puppet being controlled by a stalker. So that's really stinking cool. And her skin is blue. I wonder if that's because of like ergo poisoning, if that's the first kind of signs of it. But cinematics, this is already going to be one of the biggest and probably most difficult fights in the entire game. So she's got a cape. That cape looked good. Okay, hold up. So they want us to think this is a lot like Andreas because of the whole blue cocoon insect thing. He's got a staff as well, which Andreas also had.
Looking for someone.
And then, yeah, I don't think we're going to get too much more out of that.
I was expecting. Who are you?
Just like he just hatches out of some cocoon nest thing. This looked like the image they sent out forever ago with the giant like test tubes. But it's all like frozen and breaking out of the ice. Oh, dang. That is cool looking.
Legendary.
Oh, and what the hell is this? Is the most like Elden Ring thing that we've seen in this game, or Bloodborne, literally, I guess. Straight up like a frozen blood statue. Oh, and this shot we get right here is so stinking cool. Thanks for your patience with skipping through all this.
Legendary.
Wow. Oh, and he's got hands and fingers coming out of him everywhere. Jeesh. Yeah, what is this red stuff, though? Because ergo we've seen as like blue. I don't know. This is one of the biggest question marks right now is this.
She stepped up.
Okay, and I think this is the lady in red, right? We fought her sister, the lady in white. And right now, the guy's talking about the legendary stalker. She stepped up because no one else could. Don't know if that's talking about her, right? If so, that'd be an interesting development, interesting new perspective on the original game and characters, but we're for sure going to meet her. And what is the setting? Is she like in hiding somewhere? Also, the arm I have on right now looks somewhat unique. It might still just be the straight up arm of steel. I don't know though. That jacket looks great. I got a little hatchet. He's got a little hatchet, which is ironic because he's like a wooden puppet in the original story. That's pretty funny.
Only because no one else could.
Aha, no.
Too many stalkers were lost to that.
We're gonna talk about you. Give me a second. The stream on this. Yeah, it's like a brain in a head in a tube with like a giant scorpion tail thing. That's sick looking. Oh, it's going to be like an abomination when we actually see what that thing is. But really, really cool. Okay, so this is probably the part that's the most like, what does this mean in the game? So yeah, it looks like just like the left arm of steel. I got a new weapon in my hand, which is great. Calls out a trumpet, a bugle, and out of the window pops in who I'm assuming is the original, actual Alidoro. Not the like fake. Yeah, he's got the sword. He's got the like katana, the twin dragon's blade. Oh. So we actually get to meet him, you know, like her brother, right? Not the guy who killed him and like took his stuff and took like the head to like pretend to be the actual original warrior from the East, right? Alidoro. That's really freaking cool. Now, the big question that I'm sure everyone has on their minds is this just a cutscene? Is this just a situation where we get to call in an NPC for this fight? Or does it mean something even bigger, something even different?
No one else could.
That greatsword looks sick, but they'll be hard pressed to make me switch it off of the tried and true. I think they're gonna do it successfully, my dude. Even with your loyalty, even with your monogamy with your sword, I think that they're probably going to manage to get you to try something else. This also looks like it transforms, right? Does this not look like it has like different stages? Look at that thing. Yeah. That's probably the sword that you get to shoot out of or something. What if it turns into like an axe? This could totally be an axe. It's got a long handle. It's got like the hinges coming down like that, but that makes a perfect like axe blade. Oh my gosh, I would love that. I would love that. So, what do you think, right? Personally, because they at least said this, I think that this is only relating to an NPC specific thing. It's not saying you can call in your friends, and it's going to be a co-op DLC, though that's still possible. I'm not taking that off the table. However, I believe that's not what they're doing. They specifically said we're focusing on a single-player experience, and that's what we want in this game. Now, they took a lot of time to work on this DLC, maybe enough time to add in the ability to have a co-op thing, like a call-in of your friends. I don't think that's what's going on right here, though, but that's just me. This is a big deal to put this in the trailer and have people think that you might be able to call in friends. So anyway, that's my thought. Because of what they said in the past, I'm going to say no, but I'm going to keep the option open because developers have lied and or changed their minds. And if they do change their mind, I can't wait to play this with a friend, right? But I'm not going to expect that going into it. I'm going to expect to fight alongside Alidoro because that's badass. And I actually get to play with the stalkers, not like the souls or the spirits of the stalkers, with the actual people. Because most of the time in the original game, you were just calling forth echoes, right? Or ergo echoes or something like that. Okay, we're getting there. So there he is. He's got the sword. We know that. Oh, dude. This is a guy. Again, no puppets besides the puppet being controlled by that lady. This is a dude with like, it kind of looks like the Black Rabbit Brotherhood helmets, except he's got like ram horns. So that's awesome. Spinning his ass around with a giant sword, a giant fire axe or hammer of some kind. So we're totally going to kill him and take that weapon. Absolutely. And that's a new sword I have in my hands. There's so much here at the very end. Okay. Let's put this in 0.25% right after Alidoro pops up. Here we go. Okay. So, yeah. Ram head guy with a big ass hammer. Another cutscene looks like. And look at that sword that P has. Dude, that thing is crazy looking too. It's huge. We're in a factory. And again, looks like I still have maybe the white. Oh my sweet word. Look at this. So, brand new Legion arm. The second one confirmed for sure. We saw the white one, and now this one has like a giant like fin thing on top of it. Based on the way the bow looks, it's possible that this bow is attached to the Legion arm. Because you'd think that the weapon, if we got the bow as a weapon, will look a little bit different than that. But there might be multiple bows in the game. I love bow and arrows. Bow and arrows are some of the sickest weapons ever created, especially in video games. So, but yeah, a giant green one with like a fin. So either like a blade comes out of that fin, or that's like an aim for like a projectile or something. Either way, sick. This setting that you're in, right? Obviously, this is amazing looking. And you're pulling it back with your puppet arm. Oh, this thing just flew out of the freaking ice. It's some like monstrosity. Oh, that's beautiful. It looked like the Aurora Borealis behind you. So you're leaving Krot, right? You're not just in Krot and then the island. You are for sure exploring outside, right? This is a very obvious point, or a very obvious showcase of that. Dang, that thing looks crazy in this shot. That's so sick. This is so cool. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it actually showed you shooting him? Okay, this is another like, yeah, still not a puppet. Possessed, ergo poison guy with a giant wrecking ball. Oh, he's a prisoner. Oh, are we going to go to like a facility where they've been testing ergo on people? Like a mental, like an asylum or something? We might. That might be what this is talking about. Oh, and then here's the frickin' Wolverine claws. You need them, I think, in any like Souls-like game now. And this is a Fable art. This has got to be like his 3 stock Fable art. And it destroys him. That's so sick. Okay. So once again, a human that has been transformed, right? Like an arrow poison human. That great sword is awesome. Is this different than the one from earlier? He's transforming it into a giant, like, bazooka cannon. Ah. That thing had, like, a beard, too. Okay, this is one of the last shots. I want to back it up to see this last part one more time. Then we'll keep moving. Beautiful. Look at this. So this is an in-game thing. They just use the camera to, like, showcase it from different angles, it looks like. Not like this is not a cutscene, I don't think. This might just be an enemy that we actually like fight. Okay. So this thing, this piece of work, yeah, that's a brand new great sword as well. So at least 3 new confirmed weapons. That arm looks basic. That thing looks nuts too. It's got like a spear up there. Okay, and then the last shot, this lady and her puppet fighting us. This has got to be, if not the last boss in the game, this is going to be the money boss, right? A lot of people consider Laxasia being that, or Laxasia being that in the first game. Or I would consider it King of Puppets, right? Like, I think King of Puppets is the best fight in that game, but Laxasia is right there. This is going to be amazing. And look, they are both attacking you at the same time, at least in this cutscene. Oh my gosh. And then last but not least, actually, I forgot about this one. Brand new sword that we're holding backwards. Cool. Look at that all black coat we got on. Damn. Looks like our puppet arm is the green one again, I think. Look at this. It's just Virgil. It's just, or it's just like Zantetsuken from Final Fantasy 16. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh. And yeah, like rose, look like rose petals there for the overture part. Yeah, lots of red. Let's just watch this last half of the trailer real quick because I'm obsessed. And I put it in 0.25 the whole time.
Legendary. She stepped up only because no one else could. Too many stalkers were lost to that evil.
Lost to that evil. What evil are we talking about? This song, dude.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Oh.
Your survival is all that matters. Nothing else comes close, not even my life. I swear I won't be late. Not again.
Wow. Oh. Woo. Woo. Wait, is that bearded monster with the spear in the Archbishop's arena? Is that the bishop before he's fully transformed? Let's look, my friend. Let's look. I don't think so, but let's see. It's not. It's after this.
I'll do whatever it takes.
No, they never had that thing in the background.
Is all that matters. Nothing else.
Though it's possible.
I'll do whatever it takes.
Sorry. I suck at this. My bad, guys. They never had that like big face thing in the background, but there's a bunch of like writing on the wall. That's unique. It could be like underneath where we first fight Archbishop Andreas. I don't know why I remembered his name so much, but it's just a sick name, Andreas. And it's like Andreus, which is also just a sick like spelling of it. So yeah, there's like that face, like nose with like eyes in the background. I don't remember that being in the first arena. We see a bunch of like roots and stuff, which is really similar. But that's the thing, it could be connected. This thing looks bigger. And also he has like a tree growing out of his face, right? His weapon's different too. I don't think it is the Archbishop, but I think it's definitely related though. Because look, even here. Yeah, he's got some type of like tree growing out of like his eye, right? And he just came out of a cocoon. Once again, kind of similar to the way that the Archbishop looks. But yeah, I think it's just going to be like a prequel to him in some way. It might be someone else from like the church originally, or it could be something just really, really similar. Yeah, this looks like a prison all the way. Look at that. Yep. I mean, he's obviously like in chains and crap, but going to a prison? Oh, like how effed up is this level going to be? He does have like a spear thing, but that spear again, I think is slightly different. I want to know what all that writing on the wall is. Oh, I bet you we beat him and then the mouth opens up as where we get to like walk out. Oh, I love when like, it's like in Harry Potter in number 2, when Salazar Slytherin's mouth opens up and the snake comes out. This looks like it's just going to be another like basic enemy or an elite enemy. Is it a bear that's been like ergo poisoned? Gosh. So good. Okay. So, now that we've watched it like 8 times, a couple quick thoughts is this. We've seen so far, from what I've been able to confirm, right? Because I think this is a new sword as well. We've seen Wolverine claws. We've seen a giant great sword that shoots. We've seen another great sword spear thing where he calls in Alidoro. We've seen a bow and arrow that we don't know for sure is going to be a weapon or a Legion arm. Right now, I'll count it as a weapon. And then I think that we saw one more weapon. So I think it was five weapons that we haven't seen yet before. Yeah, it was five at least. 5 weapons we haven't seen yet. And then at minimum, 2 Legion arms. There was a green one with a giant like fin razor on it. And there was a white one with like a gun on top of it. What I've been thinking this whole time is that they were going to be giving us at least 3 new Legion arms and at least like 8 new weapons. This is already looking like it's more than that. And it's also looking like a lot of the weapons are going to be like the legendary weapons, right? The stuff that you don't take apart and mix with other things. That's what it's looking like to me, though I don't know that for sure. Sorry, are my frames where they should be? Yeah, they're doing okay. Let's do that. Okay. So it's looking like that's what's going to be to me. So that's cool. Already, new weapons, new Legion arms. Even if this DLC sucks story-wise, it won't. You'll have new stuff to play with in the game, which is what we've been asking for. Another thought. I don't think that it's co-op. I think it's just calling it Alidoro as the NPC, which is fine, but co-op would be amazing, obviously. Other thing, they did say the newsletter they put out, the director said that he essentially wanted to bring the director's cut of Lies of P. That there's stuff you can't do in your first version. You can't always achieve your vision, right? And his team can't always achieve their vision. So they wanted to bring the full, complete, finished version of Lies of P to us, right? Now, what that means is they're pretty much confirming no more DLC for this game after this, and that they are officially moving on to their Wizard of Oz themed project, right? Which is fine, which I am okay with. I've been living off of the game as is for 1.5 years, right? I've platinumed it, so I had to beat it 3 times. I think I might have played it one more time. Well, I don't think I technically beat it a 4th, actually. I just played like almost all the way through. So played it 3, 4, 5 times, in terms of how long I've played it. Streamed the whole thing, right? Found every boss, found every weapon, did every achievement in the base game, and I still came back for more because that feeling of running through this world again for the first time is just like when I ran through Bloodborne for the first time. Just being in Yharnam is pretty incredible. Being in Central Krot Station for the first time is just a feeling that you can't really replicate, but I tried to replicate over and over again by playing the game as many times as I have. So I'm playing it again, obviously, in preparation for this. We're going to make a new account, and we're going to take that new account. I think the best thing to do is take that new account, play the whole game over from the beginning, and then go directly into the DLC with that fresh account. And then I'll be taking my New Game Plus ×3 account into it after that. I think it's probably the best thing because I don't want to be fully 100% kitted out. Oh, the P organ. We got to get a new tier for the P organ. Absolutely. There's no way they're not going to. There's no way they're going to pass, I guess, on that. Other big thing is that if we're traveling back in time, what does that mean? Like, are we making a difference? She said keeping you alive is a top priority. I promise not to be late again. Like, was she the legendary stalker that was supposed to protect my life, right? Carlo's life before he died. I think so. That sounds right? That seems like that would make sense. So story-wise, already they're going for some like heavy things, some heavy stuff. I'm just not sure because it wasn't clear exactly how long the timeline was from when Carlo died to when P was born, right? Though it's somewhat implied that that's what Geppetto used as his motivation for his like puppet technology and using Ergo soul power to try and, collect everything he needed to bring back Carlo. So story-wise already, that's really cool. I'm curious what the implications of traveling back in time. Because Bloodborne, they just put you in like a different world, right? A new realm. But this one, they've confirmed that it's the same world. You're just whoop back a little bit. So I don't know about that. I don't know what's going to be happening in terms of if we influence or impact or change anything. And I do like that it's the same world, but very obviously, once you travel here, you're not going to be able to travel back. I don't think until you're done, right? That wouldn't make any sense. Like, this is a new game, just shorter. So yeah, I think that's like how it's going to be approached. Most important thing is that I am freaking pumped. Woo! Okay, had to get it out because this is so sick. This is incredibly cool. I am thrilled, absolutely thrilled to get the chance to play this game again. So, yeah, I don't want to spread or stretch this out too much further. I'm not done streaming, but that is the end of the Lies of P part of the stream. Let me just make sure there's nothing else that I'm missing that I wanted to make sure was covered. Oh, the music. Music was beautiful. Like, music was hype and beautiful and like haunting a little bit already just from one trailer. And that's going to continue into the whole game. So I'm expecting us to probably get like 5 new records that we can grab. And I wonder if your humanity can be pushed even further than it was in the base game. That'd be interesting if they can push your humanity further and what you could unlock from that. I would not be opposed to that. That would be very, very cool. But yeah, summer 2025, once we have an actual release date is when I'll be planning and announcing my stream of the game. It's not going to take nearly as long to beat the game while streaming as it did. However, it'll be like a full 100% lore playthrough, right? I'll find every single scrap of paper. I will find every weapon that is available on one playthrough. You have to do 2 playthroughs for a couple things. I'll get all the, everything that I can essentially on my streamed playthrough, and maybe do a quick not streamed playthrough just to collect the stuff that I didn't have before. But no, then there'll be New Game Plus, so I don't want to do that. Okay. But regardless, expect another stream of playing the entirety of Lies of P, and we'll try and make it as much of like a first time again, stream, even though I'll be hopefully better than when I was when I started, but who knows. So, this is so sick. This is so exciting. Been waiting for this for like since 2023 when the game first came out. They said, yeah, we're going to do DLC and just wait. It's going to be great. And I thought it was going to be like 2 months ago, and I'm totally okay that it's going to be a few months left from now. So looking forward to summer of 2025. Hope you guys are looking forward to that as well. Lies of P Overture. Cannot wait. Thank you guys so much for joining me.